Outside of specific trade policies, how does the overall state of US-China relations affect business ties?
I think that the overall state of relations is very poor, and that does have an impact on U.S.-China by trade and investment. So, as I had noted, we reached a peak in 2017 of U.S. exports, and every U.S. exports associated with jobs in America. We have yet to surpass that. And while our competitors have all done much better. And so as we are looking towards the future, we're hopeful for stability and predictability. As I had noted, the tariffs remain in place and temporary exclusions have been granted. And if you're an American company, that's a very uncomfortable place to be. You know that the demand exists in China. You know that the Chinese want to buy your high quality products, but you're not sure if the relations between the two governments are going to be good enough for you to operate on a level playing field. And that's a very bad place to be if you're making investments or planning even for the short-term future of 2022, right around the corner. I would have to note that because of the unique national security implications of the tech sector, that many Chinese companies are concerned that their American suppliers are not going to be able to continue to export to China. And so how do they react? Companies, consumer electronics, for example, household goods, automotive and other companies, they're looking at American companies as suppliers of the last resort. And if they're able to spec out American components, parts, software, firmware, middleware, whatever, from their production in 2022, 2023, 2024, they're doing so. And that's a natural reaction to the overuse of export controls for purposes for which they were never truly designed. And the overuse of sanctions in a non-strategic manner. And it is American workers and companies that are paying the cost for that. And indeed, a lot of Europeans and Japanese are increasing their investment so as to replace American companies in the China market and also in third countries. So trade is a complex web. It's not really a supply chain, it's a supply network. And if China is an important part of that supply network. And so European and Japanese companies who supply to China have to think twice also about US export controls. Do they want to continue to use American components, software, and other products if that gives the Department of Commerce veto power over their ability to sell into China? So even though America might be their biggest market and China's only 10%, might be economically rational to spec out that American component and put in a European, Japanese, Chinese component so that you have equal access to the Chinese market, the American market, and other markets. So I'm very pleased that Treasury is leading a survey to consider the cost of sanctions, because I think that they're many times more, 10x of what the US government sees as the cost of sanctions in the short term. And in the longer term, the cost of sanctions only increase. And if we wish to maintain our competitive uh, uh, position in the world, then we should review the cost of sanctions very carefully and ensure that we're acting in the long-term interests of American technology, American companies, American workers. And I'm not convinced that that's the case right now.